Okay, in this lesson, we're still working on the standard we started last class, which is standard 4, which is how mood and tone affects meaning of the piece. So we're going to look at one more poem from the book and then actually a nonfiction piece, which is a little bit harder. So if you remember from last class, mood is the feeling or how it moves you. Tone is how the narrator is telling the story, so tone tell, and meaning is the message the author's trying to get across. So we're going to be on the next blank sheet in your packet. It looks like this. Okay, that's what we filled out, and we're going to look for the verbs again, and we're going to put them in a positive and negative, and then we're going to use the pages in the packet to figure out a mood and tone for each of these items. So, turn to page 85 in the book, and it's this poem. It's called Last Respects. Okay. After 2 weeks at sea, the commander calls all of us below deck for a formal lowering our yellow flag with 3 red stripes. South Vietnam no longer exists. One woman tries to throw herself overboard, screaming that without a country she cannot live. As they wrestle her down, a man stabs his heart with a toothbrush. I don't know them, so their pain seems unreal next to Brother Coy's, whose eyes are wild as those of his broken chick. I hold his hand. Come with me. He doesn't resist. Alone at the back of the ship, I open Mother's white handkerchief. Inside lies my mouse-bitten doll, her arms wrapped around the limp, fuzzy body of his chicks. I tie them all into a bundle. Brother Coy nods and I smile, but I regret not having my doll as soon as the white bundle sinks into the sea. So, for the first step in finding the mood and tone, you need to highlight all of the verbs and separate them in positive and negative. So I'm going to highlight all the positive verbs pink. I don't really see that many. Hold, maybe? Smile. Fuzzy. That's not a verb. Okay, that's it for the positive. Now we're going to highlight the negative ones blue. Lowering. Whoops. Lowering. Throw. Screaming. Wrestle. Stabs. Resist. As you can see, I'm not highlighting all the verbs, just the ones that stand out. Tie, sink. Okay. Regret. So I'm going to copy those onto the sheet on page 10. I know it says Saigon is gone, but we're going to use it for last regret. So smile and hold. Okay, and now we'll list the negative ones. Wrestle, resist. Okay. So, as you can see for this one, a lot more negative. So how would I describe the mood? So I see these things: lowering, throw, screaming, stab, wrestle, resist, regret, sinks, tie. You have to think of a word that describes the feeling. How do you feel when you read that poem? The pages in your packet that will help you on pages 8. So look on that list and come up with a word to describe the mood. And I'm going to say It's very depressed, a depressing mood, nightmarish. Okay, now the tone. How is Ha telling? Tone means how they tell. So how is she telling this story? You could turn to page 7, 6, and 7. What's her tone? It's definitely not positive. I'm going to say solemn. Possibly even frightened. She's frightened of the people. That are throwing themselves overboard. Okay. So, what could be the meaning of this piece? What did the author want to show? I would say that she used mood and tone to show how depressing and devastating the fall of Saigon was to the people. They don't have a home anymore. They're devastated over this. Imagine your country just disappearing. That's what happened to them. Okay, so that does it for page 9, or to page 10. So now we're actually going to go to page 11 and fill out another one of these using an article that's on My Big Campus. So go to resources, so groups, find your class, go to resources, go to Inside Out and Back again, and then find, it's under today's lesson, should be right under, it's called Fall of Saigon Helicopter Pilot. So you're going to read that all on your own and pick 2 colors, highlight verbs that are positive and highlight verbs that are negative. Then go ahead to page 11 and copy those down. So I'm not going to read the article to you. Read the article Helicopter Pilot, and there's actually going to be a take-home test in which you describe the mood and tone of this poem and the Helicopter Pilot article. So you're going to want to come in the room and grab that paper because that is going to be your take-home test, and that's going to actually be due next class. And there's not going to be any reading assignment for tonight. You just have to do that test describing the mood and tone. Okay, and that's it, and that's all for today's lesson on analyzing mood and tone.